Hey, 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 hey. It's your girl Barbie J. And today, what are we talking about, y'all? Queens, says a girl who is a queen and was born in Queens, New York, that is. Hello. That's right. We're talking about Queen Season 1, Episode 5. Do anything for clout. And really, I think that's mostly about Jill and Muffin, Little Muffin or Lauren, because it seemed like they would do anything for some clout right now. But anyway, before we get started with this wonderful episode, because it was yet another good episode, before we get started, shout out to everybody in my comment section, those who have, and even those who have not yet subscribed to my channel. But if you're commenting, I appreciate that. And if you're liking, I appreciate that too. So keep it coming. And don't forget to share my videos, okay? Now, if you want to subscribe, hit that little subscription button. It says subscribe. It's in red. And once you hit it, it turns black, I believe. And if you want to be notified every time Barbie J uploads a new video, then hit that little notification bell. And it will definitely let you know when I upload any new content. So this episode started off with Little Muffin. Well, I guess she being called Lauren now. I don't know, but her video was going. Her video was playing "I'm That Chick." I'm that chick, and I didn't know who it was first. At first, I was like, what is going on here? I was totally confused. I was like, which one of the girls is it? But it was pretty cool video. You know, she's trying to change her image, and so they showed that video. But then it went right over to Eric. Eric wants to hang out more with JoJo now that she know he's her dad. And it was kind of awkward for a moment, but now it seems like they're getting along like really well. And now that he want to go solo, you know, Naomi was a little confused and wasn't sure at first, but now she was like, no, I got it. Why wouldn't I have it? He's like, look at your face, your expression. She was like, yeah. But seemed like she was getting a little jealous of all the time they're spending together, because she's just now starting to spend time with her daughter. Remember, she didn't have that relationship because she was always running around trying to have a career, this banging career that she couldn't seem to get off the ground. Then you got Jill, who's coming in. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Little Muffin, who has this new image she's trying to do. And she's like, okay, she's sober. She said, I'm sober. I'm in a good place. And so she's trying to keep Lauren and Muffin separated. So she said she wants to be like a regular person, go to the laundromat. And she said, matter of fact, I'm going to go to, she traded in her iguanas or something like that for a washing machine. And then she said she want to go to the supermarket like a regular person. And when she tried to do that, it didn't work out well, because when she got to the supermarket, you know, the people saw her face on the front of a magazine, and they was like, oh, is she still around? Like they were almost like dissing her, these two white girls in the supermarket. And Little Muffin got upset because she took off her glasses and wanted to be noticed, and she wanted them to recognize her, and they didn't even recognize her. I guess because she didn't have the colored hair and all that. So she took her cart that was full of food and banged it into theirs and walked out the store. She was so pissed. Jill, what's happening with Jill? Jill is coming in late to all up their rehearsals and not being there on time, and trying to do interviews here and there and photo shoots, and you know, with her new, you know, she coming with the new lesbian friend, you know, who she introduced herself and said, oh, I'm Amisha, I'm her friend Amisha. And she said, I'm helping Jill to create a new impact with her new community, you know, the lesbians. So she got her going all out like solo, like I don't get that, you know. But she said, she says she's a friend. However, this is Brianna talking about, I saw y'all making out on my Nest Cam at 3 a.m. She's like, friend, I'm a little bit more than friends or something. And then Jill was supposed to be there for Lauren. You know, she's the one that had the drug abuse issue. And she was supposed to pick Lauren up from rehab, and she didn't. And Naomi ended up having to go there. So Jill is forgetting about being a part of a group, and she's just doing all this solo stuff. And she gets into an argument with them at one point, telling them, shoot, I don't need y'all. I was like, okay, what is going on? You got this lady whispering in your ear, causing you to separate from your girls. And I'm just like, what's happening here? What is going on? But anyway, then we got Eric. Eric gets them the opportunity to perform at the AMAs, the American Music Awards, and none of them seem to be as happy as they should be. And they not thrilled because they're thinking about last time in San Diego, the problems they had, falling through a hole, forgetting their lines, all this stuff and everything. So he said, look, y'all got a hot single out now and y'all need that exposure. So Eric thinks it's a good idea, and Naomi's like down with it. Yeah, it is a good idea. And so basically Jill is doing it because her new lesbian friend told her it would be a good move and good to do. I'm sitting there going, hello, you listening to everything she said like she's your like manager and stuff. It's crazy. This is so crazy. I'm just shocked at how Jill is acting. And this is the one that was Christian. I guess she was, I don't know, she coming out of another shell or something. out of her straight shell into a lesbian shell. I don't know what's happening with her, but she's Jill the thrill. She didn't want that thrill no more, but she back to getting her thrills, sleeping around with these people. She left her husband to be with Tina, and then she left Tina to be with this girl, Amisha, whatever her name is. So Brianna is on the porch talking to her husband's mistress. Her dead husband's mistress. I guess I have to say it that way because he's not alive. I don't even know. Her deceased husband's mistress. And she wants to know why is she going to have the baby? Because if she has it, the baby's going to be, siblings to her kids. So she wants to know. And the girl is like, I'm not sure. I'm 24. I have all these student loans and stuff. And I did love him and all this stuff. And she's like, Brianna's like, it would be totally cool if you never say that to me again, that you loved my husband, my husband. It's like, girl, you cheating on him. Talking about you loved him. He was like 40 something. You 24. It's just crazy. Or maybe he was 30 something. I don't know how old they are. But then she said she need time to think about it. And then when she thinks about it, she decides that she wants to have the baby. No, she doesn't want to have the baby. She's going to abort it. And, but she had asked Brianna, what would she do if she was in her place? And she was like, this is your decision. Like, you ain't going to put this on me. But then when she decides she was going to abort it, she goes and asks Brianna to go with her because she don't have no family or anybody to go with her. And then Brianna seems to go there. She goes there at the end of the show, and this chick don't even show up. She just bounces. She goes to the house like, where is she? And they said, oh, she left. She got in her car and went wherever. I don't know. But the girl bounced. I don't remember where the place was, but if I do remember, I'll tell y'all before this video's over. So now we got Valeria finding out she get a lot of cosmetic surgery done. Talking about she been in Hollywood for 2 decades and she's around these gorgeous black women who don't age. So she's getting stuff done. And she goes and she's getting work done, and they said, you better not touch your face. You know what she gets done? Her behind. She gets booty implants or something like that, and she's in pain and she can't sit on them and everything. She could barely walk. It's just so crazy. I'm like, really, Valeria? You getting butt implants and stuff? I was like, this is too much. She at rehearsal trying to rehearse in a damn wheelchair. No, wasn't no wheelchair, but it was a chair. It was so I'm telling you, this is so crazy. Then we got Eric and JoJo. They out eating and stuff, and some guys come up to them and say they want to take a photo with him. They have one of his old CDs from back in the days. And the thing, whatever it was older than them kids look. And so they got the pictures. They looking, one guy's on each side of him. And JoJo about to take the picture. And another guy comes, snatches the chain, and they run. And JoJo already thought the chain was a bit too much. Like it was too big and stuff. But those guys ran, and he tried to chase them and get his chain, and he couldn't catch them. Later on, a couple of days later, JoJo finds out that, first she was saying it wasn't a big thing, and he was talking about the street code and all this stuff, and she was saying call the cops, and he was like, no, you can't do that, and he had to find a way to get it back himself, and he think he know who it is, and it was just like, it was so crazy what they were going through to get that doggone chain back. So here we go with Valeria, back to her with her butt injections. I forgot to tell y'all that she had a stalker. She had somebody looking in her house and she thought it was a stalker. And she's running around, she running, trying to run to the door, gonna get a knife, and she gonna go to the door. And what you gonna do? Stab somebody? She opens the door and goes out on her porch to stab the person, and they gone. Hello, you had butt injections. You can't even move or walk. So what was you going to do if they had grabbed you and took the knife and just stabbed you? That was like the dumbest thing she did. You just look from your door. You don't open your door and go out on the porch, Valeria. You don't even look close to knowing how to fight. Those black women look like they could get down and throws. Okay, but you look like you too cute. You look like you a lover, not a fighter. You know, like Michael Jackson. I'm a lover, not a fighter. Anyway, what else happened? But then we learn who this mystery person is, and she's thinking she got a stalker, and she's loving the attention and everything. She's going all out for this stalker, and it's just absolutely crazy what she's doing. I just can't even believe Valeria. That excites her. That would make me nervous, very. So we got the ladies. The ladies are sitting there rehearsing and stuff. And here, where's Jill? Jill ain't nowhere to be found. And the girl, what's her name? Amisha, she comes in. And she was like, where's Jill? And they're like, isn't she usually with you? And she said, oh, the interview with Stacey Abrams must have run over. And they're like, what, you came all the way here to flex, and stuff? She's like, look, Jill is in a great place now. Her husband is being cooperative with the annulment. And she's blossoming. I said, annulment? How you getting annulment? I thought you were going to get annulment if you didn't have sex. I'm just like, what? And then she's like, the world's so eager to see Jill and the Queens at the AMA. They was like, oh, is that our new name? Jill with the Queens? I'm just like, ooh. And then the girl is with Jill. When Jill meets up with this girl, Amisha, at her house, they're talking. And she's like, oh, my God, should I tell a lady? She's like, no, why should you? It's okay for you to be out there by yourself, and take the stage by yourself. So basically, she done hooked it up so that Jill could go out there at the pre-AMA party and perform solo without Jill and Valeria and Naomi. I mean, without Naomi, Valeria, and Brianna, sorry. And I'm sitting there going, really? And this girl got her doing all this stuff. So she's up there looking for this gown, a beautiful dress that she's spending all this money. And all of a sudden she can't use her credit card because it's declined. And she was like, wait a minute. What do they mean decline? It won't use it. Her husband unblocked it. She said, honey, I thought we were good and stuff. She called him up. Her ex-husband, soon to be ex-husband, Jill, is like, I thought we was in a good place. What's going on? He's like, no. I met with an attorney and they advised me to take a different route. He said, I saw you left me for Tina. And now I see you making out on Instagram or somewhere, on social media with this other girl. And I said, see, she's taking it way too far. And he blocked it. And he said he's realizing it wasn't about Tina. He said, so he's protecting himself. That's what he said by doing this. Because she used Tina as excuse, but now you making out with a whole bunch of other people. So that's an issue for him. So Eric and JoJo, they roll up in this spot, with the guy who he thinks stole his chain and sent some guys to steal it. He said, because he know those kids were too young to have that CD that from back in the day, whatever it was called. I forgot, Gun Hill Mafia tape. Anyway, he rolls up and said, I know you sent them guys to steal my tape. And he's like, dude, really? You up and steal my chain? He said, you really up in here? He said, who that? Your muscle? He said, no, that's my daughter. She's like, oh, wow, you're Jadakiss. He's like, no, I ain't no Jadakiss. I'm your father's enemy, arch enemy or something like that. He said, y'all better get the hell up out of here before I have you shot or something like that. And he said, I could buy that chain, dusty old chain, over 50 times, whatever he was saying. So she was like leaving. They were leaving out of there. And she's like, I know we almost got killed, but that was just the coolest thing that ever happened. She's like, she's all thrilled and they could have gotten killed. JoJo's funny. Meanwhile, we got little Muffin. Little Muffin talking with her, I guess these her gay friends or trans friends or something like that, and they hanging around her. She's like, am I played out? And one of them said, and the other one said, yeah, maybe. And she's like, what? And they said, like, you usually, shine, like you bring yourself up. She's usually like out there a little bit more than other people and stuff. So they end up showing her something in a magazine or paper or something like that. And she was like, I want to go see that jeweler. This girl went and bought a unicorn horn. And they thought it was, somebody asked her how much it cost. She thought it was $5,000. I think she paid $5 million for a blinged out unicorn horn in the middle of her forehead to stick out. And it was like attached to the middle of her forehead. When I say attached, I mean attached. And she went out to these different events with it on there thinking she's cute. And they're like, oh my God, what is happening with Lauren or Little Muffin and stuff? But meanwhile, she was blowing up because of it. The people were seeing this new style of hers and stuff. It was too funny. I'm sitting there going, everybody's going crazy. So she's out there with the horn. We got Jill up on the stage performing with these two other, look like might be drag queens, calling them nasty bitches, singing their song without them. And they're standing there watching her like, is she for real? I mean, this was a crazy episode. It was really funny to me. And I just was getting a kick out of it. I was getting a kick out of the whole thing. And what's interesting is when they said something to Jill about that unicorn thing on Little Muffin's head, she was like, oh, come on, this is a business. She said, she is not a business. And you know who said that to us? You did, when she overdosed and you were losing it. Because she was losing it. She's like, this is not a business, because she remembered how she was when she was up on the drugs too. This is Jill. So now she's trying to act like it's a business. But they were like, And Jill thought about it for a second. She had to think about it because those were her words. So she tries to go and talk to Little Muffin because she's like, I need to talk to her. And when she's over there talking about her, saying, oh, new you. And she looked at her and said, no, new you. Because they both, acting out this episode. And while she's trying to talk to her and about to get to it, here comes that chick Amisha, her new lesbian friend, dragging her out, dragging her way to introduce her to somebody else. And Lauren's like losing focus, to be honest. She's really losing, not Lauren, I'm sorry. Jill is losing focus of who she is and what she's supposed to be doing, as part of this group, as part of a person who was supposed to be mentoring almost Little Muffin as far as like helping her get through this rehab and all this. It's like, what is going on, Jill? What's going on? You letting this woman tell you everything to do. I know she's getting out there, but, let your sisters know what's going on. You showing up to rehearsals late or not coming at all, and they were saying we ain't going to be able to perform at the AMAs if she don't be here for the rehearsals. She need to know the steps. And that was, one of their biggest concerns is how they looked terrible in San Diego, Anyhow, what else happened? Oh, this funny part happened with Valeria, because they at the party, and I know y'all was laughing too, because I'm sitting there watching it, and Valeria's talking about this new guy. What was his name? Fabio, something like that. And he was like, no, I'm sorry, not Eve. Brianna's like, how do you know these people? And she's like, how she chased them down. And Eve's like, I keep calling her Eve. Brianna's like, he do look fine though. So she goes, okay. She throw the hand on the hip, shift weight to the left leg or whatever, do the hair flip, and he's all mine. And the guy saw it and came right over. And I was sitting there going, it'd be funny if he go over to Brianna. And he was like, hey, shorty, talk about that fall was something in us. He talking to Valeria, right? And then he said, I come to pay my respects to the legendary P6. He was like, man, I must watch that nasty girl video at least one time a week. He said, I can't get that body out of my mind, that body out. She was like, boy, please, do you know how old I am? He said, let me tell you, legendary is legendary. He's like, let me know, I like you and I want to take you out and I want to treat you right and stuff. And he told me he going to get this, he got the booby about to fly, go to Paris and stuff. And she's like, boy, are you for real? She's like, I got 5 kids. He said, bring them. Bring them. I'm telling you. Tell me what I got to do to be with you. He said, I can't stop with that body. And he put his number in her phone and everything. He was dead serious. He said, if it's next hour, next week, next year, he said, just call me. Let me know what I got to do. He was down for her. She's like, damn. And I was like, damn, you better go ahead, Brianna. She working it. I was cracking up, though. I was like, that was hot. Hot. When I say hot, I mean hot. Meanwhile, Valeria standing there looking pissed because she thought it was all about her and it wasn't even. Brianna had to do nothing but stand there. Homeboy was all over it. I mean, all over it. So Valeria said, if you ain't gonna call him, give me the number. I'll call him. She was like, I ain't about to call no 20-something-year-old or something. And Naomi was like, girl, please, aren't you sick and tired of following rules when nobody else is following them? And she thought about it. And that's around the time somebody said, where's Jill? And next thing you know, they announcing Jill. She's getting up there singing this nasty girl song by her damn self. What did she do? Sing everybody's part with these 2 females behind her? If they was female, they looked like, one of them looked like they could have been a drag queen. It was so funny. I said, Lord. And they just like looking like she crazy. So after Jill's performance, Brianna just went to homeboy's house. She went there, showed up to his house. I don't even know if she called him. And she said, look, I ain't got no time for Paris, but I got just enough time to teach you a lesson or show you a lesson or something. I said, oh, girl, you better stop. I'm sorry. That turned me on so bad. I enjoyed that. I said, you better go ahead. I tell you, I love her character. And he said, nasty girl, you nasty, as she came in the house. I said, ain't this nothing? Can't get that body out of his mind. So JoJo, she running out and going to tell him, saying, oh, man, I got to go tell Dad this. And Naomi was like, Dad? She's like, oh, I mean, Eric. She said, Ma, I wanted to go meet Eric so we could go to the movies. Is that cool? She's like, sure. That's not fine. And when JoJo left, she was like, that girl ain't going to no movie. She been lying to me. Am I going to lose her? Am I losing her? That's how she felt. And they was like, nah, you not losing her. Don't worry about it. And so JoJo met up with Eric and she showed him the video on social media how their thing is they snatching famous people's chains and for clout. So that's what that title was, do anything for clout. So she said they doing it for clout and stuff. And he told the history behind that chain, how when they broke up, the group broke up in San Diego and he hadn't seen her mom anymore. And he had heard she bought it, was pregnant. He went and bought that chain and stuff. And he said his intentions was to give it to JoJo at lunchtime. I mean, when they went to lunch. But then the guys, they snatched it. So she thought that was so cool. And she was like, you know what? There they go. Let's go get our chain back, And she told him she slipped up and called him Dad. Is that okay? And he said, yeah. And his eyes was teared up, kind of. So she was like, okay. And they went and got that chain back from them guys. They didn't show it, but that's what happened. So we got Jill. Here she is showing up again late to one of their rehearsals. And she's talking about she don't need this mess. She finally getting the attention that she wanted. And she's talking about how back in the day, everybody got attention except her. And I don't need any of this. And I don't need this group. And they're like, let her go. And Brandy's like, no, don't say. Brandy, Lord help me. Naomi's like, no, tell her that's not what you want. Or was it a Valeria? And Brianna was like, nah, let her go. Let her go ahead and go. Because she's supposed to be helping me in the house and she haven't even been there to help me. And so they show a scene with Valeria and Little Muffin talking. And she's trying to explain what's going on between the ladies. And she said, so what are you saying? She said, what I'm saying is we acting like nasty bitches and not like queens. I said, that's the truth, right? So, and they started talking about, doing the different things to their bodies, altering it different ways. And she was talking Valeria's talking to Little Muffin about that unicorn thing she got. And Little Muffin talking about the butt injections she got. And she said, Valeria said, to end, all that matters is how you feel when you look in the mirror. And I guess that is true. So Little Muffin goes back hanging with her friends, these friends, and I think they're just bad influences on her, because the people, they don't have her best interest in mind. And these guys, they were just like trying to pass drugs to her when they know she just got out of rehab. She said, they were like, well, you was in rehab for coke. This ain't coke. Like, here, take this. And she's like, no. So she went in the back and started getting her dress or something, and she pulled that thing, the unicorn thing fell off her head, and she had a round circle on the forehead with blood, just blood on the floor. I said, oh my God, that thing was really embedded in her head. And she just stood there and screamed. We ain't seen nobody come back there to help her, though. That's one thing. Then there was a moment with JoJo. She's telling Naomi, thank you, Ma, for, she said, for what? For letting me get to know Eric. He's a good guy. She said, I love you, Mom. She's like, what? She was like, I love you too, baby. And I know they had told Naomi she didn't have to worry that she not losing her, but that probably was JoJo's first time telling her that she loves her. So that was really special. And then we find out, this was an emotional little episode. We see Valeria, and her stalker shows up, and she was exercising. Valeria was exercising. She hurry up and got off the machine and fixing her hair, and she getting all cute and gets to the door. And it's a woman. She's like, you're my stalker? This is ridiculous. It's a woman. She said, oh, I'm sorry about the other day. She said, I'm not a stalker. I'm your mother. I said, oh my God, I knew it. I was guessing all of this stuff in advance. And I was like, I'm loving this episode. I guess that man was going to, he was going to go over to Brianna before going over to Valeria. I knew it. And now I knew this. I said, I wonder if that's her mother. And her mother came and she started crying. Valeria's crying. We ain't never seen Valeria cry. So I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know she had tears. And then Jill had her stuff all packed up to leave Brianna's house. And she's like, so you really gonna leave? I don't understand this. She said, well, you don't want me here. She said, I do. I need you here. That was the purpose of you being here. But you running all around and not helping me. I need your help. And then she told her how that girl left town. Whatever her name is, Alicia or whatever. Not Alicia. Alicia's the one with, what's her name? Alexis. Alicia's the one with Jill. Alexis is the white girl who was pregnant. And she was like, she left and I don't know where she went, and she's pregnant with the child. And the next thing you know, somebody knocking on the door, and it's Jill's husband, Darren. He's showing up and saying all this. How he talk all crazy. And it looked like he's burning their divorce papers, saying, that he was not going to let her go. He can't let her go. And Brianna's like, you better get out of my house. He got the thing lit on fire in her house. She was like, you better get out. And he dropped it right there by the doormat in front of her house. And Naomi and them came up and put it out with their feet. I said, oh my God, this was crazy. So that was a crazy episode, y'all. But that's how it ended. Let me know what you thought about my, review. I'm sorry it was so long, but it was so much detail. God, I'm at 28 minutes. I'm so sorry, y'all. But this was a really good episode, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. If I missed anything, let me know. This your girl, Barbie J, saying peace.